When does autoimmune disease really start? Question for Dr. Tom O'Brien on the Functional Forum.
There was an article that came out in 2003, the New England Journal of Medicine. Melissa Arbuckle looked for people with lupus in the VA system. She found 132 people. If they're in the VA system, they're veterans. If they're veterans, they were in the armed forces. If they were in the armed forces, they had their blood drawn many times when they were in the armed forces, healthy, vibrant Navy or Air Force personnel. What people don't know is that the government has been saving and freezing all of that blood since 1978. They've got tens of millions of samples of our service people's blood. So Arbuckle went back and asked for permission to look at the blood of the currently diagnosed lupus patients when they were healthy in the Navy or the Air Force. What did she find? There are 7 antibodies to lupus. Every antibody was elevated years before. The average was 5 years, most of them 9 years before they ever had a symptom. What does that tell us? It tells us that the immune system is attacking self for years and you feel fine. So that's the first concept. And so we have this prodromal period that if you identify it, you have elevated antibodies to your thyroid, Mrs. Patient. Well, I feel fine. I understand, but the science tells us if you have elevated antibodies to your thyroid, TPO, especially postpartum, you have a 92% positive predictive value. You're getting Hashimoto's in 7 years. If you have elevated antibodies to ASCA, that's Saccharomyces cerevisiae in your gut, you have a almost 100% positive predictive value. You're getting Crohn's in 3 years. This is the science. It's all published, but no one is looking at that at this prodromal period. So I realized that, wait a minute, if we identify it back here, it gives the window of opportunity to do something about it. Now you're really going back to where the problem is because, and for this evening, I don't have the time to talk about this, but if you look at the science, atherosclerosis is autoimmune. So the number one cause of getting sick and dying in the world, cardiovascular disease, is autoimmune. It's initiating phases. Cancer is autoimmune. It's initiating phases. It's the number one underlying mechanism to degenerative disease. It's your immune system attacking self. So we're all downstream looking at the symptom patterns that have developed from years of doing that. If we go back upstream, then we're going to be able to identify it early enough to have a window of opportunity to address it. So I've been traveling the world since last October, 78 interviews. World scientists, world-class scientists. Marta Vita-Pease is in Barcelona, and she is reversing type 1 diabetes by regenerating beta cells with diet and nutrition. And she's published 3 papers on this already. Alan Ebringer at King's College in London, who first identified Proteus as a trigger in the development of rheumatoid. Now there's many, many papers on that. It's a lipopolysaccharide from Proteus, from a bacteria, that triggers the inflammatory cascade for many people with rheumatoid. So when you look at all of this and you look at the prodromal period, if we start looking back here, if we get our laboratories to help us identify this, and our lab's currently already doing it, but if we get more labs doing this, so more doctors know about this, we're going to stop this upstream so people don't have to get so much tissue damage. So that's Betrayal. That comes out November 1st, which you showed the trailer to just a minute ago. And that's the book that I've written that's about to launch on Amazon.
Thanks so much for watching, and for more great clips like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've created a special free video just for you called Harnessing the Power of Community in Your Practice, and it'll give you a clinical model, practical tools that double as marketing, and strategies to develop a community of your peers. All you have to do is click on the link below.